Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here, and we are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Thursday, January 6th, slate of games. We don't have a whole lot of games going on. We've only got a 4-game slate, so I did find 3 really great plays out of them, so make sure to stick around to go ahead and see those. First, I did just want to go ahead and say thank you guys so much. We did just hit 900 subscribers today, so we are less than 70 subscribers away from 1,000, which would just be absolutely fantastic. I would love to be able to hit that by the end of the week. So that's kind of our goal for right now. So I think that we can do it. I just need your guys' help to get there. So if you guys are new, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. But we'll go ahead and do a quick recap as of yesterday. Not a great day, but it definitely could have went either way. We did have our favorite play of the day, Cade Cunningham over 5.5 assists versus Charlotte. That one did end up cashing for us. And then we did also have, so that was the only one that we cashed on. Then we did have 2 losers, unfortunately. We had the Wizards minus 6.5 versus Houston. Wizards just decided that they didn't really want to play basketball yesterday, which is whatever at the end of the day, but it did really hurt us for sure, especially when the Wizards were at home. Great home team. Rockets, not very good on the road, but oh well. Then we did also have Andrew Wiggins over 17.5 points versus the Dallas Mavericks. Like I said in my last video, that was my most up in the air one. I really wasn't sure which way to go with it, over or under. He finished with 17. We miss it by literally 1 point. There's not really much else you can do there. So we're going to go ahead and hop into these new plays today. Our first play of the day is going to be RJ Barrett under 18.5 points versus the Celtics minus 110 odds. I know RJ Barrett has been on an absolute tear recently, but I do have some stats to back this up. So the Celtics give up the second fewest points per game to opposing small forwards. Obviously, that is where Jaylen Brown matches up. So Jaylen Brown, he's a really good defender, I should say. Not pretty good. He's a really good defender. And so going up against a guy like RJ Barrett, that's a very tough matchup for RJ Barrett. So he's either going to shine against Jaylen Brown or he's going to be really, really bad. And historically, like I said, this year, the small forward position for the Celtics has been on absolute lock. They've given up just the second fewest. At home this year, RJ Barrett has only cashed this over twice, and obviously the game is at home for them, but he has only cashed this over in two games at home. So I don't know if it's because he just gets nervous in front of his home crowd or what the case might be, but he has only cashed this over twice. On top of that, the Boston is actually just overall a very solid defensive team. They are actually the 12th best defense in the entire NBA, just outright. But obviously that's going to help our bet because any sort of switches, any sort of help, I do think that it'll make RJ Barrett's life a little bit more difficult. And then I'm a man of speculation. Anytime that there is a trend of any sort, I do like to go ahead and follow it as well. So in his last 12 games, here is how the log has went. He has cashed in 3 games, and then he hasn't cashed in 3 games. And then he's hit the over in 3 games, and then he hit the under in 3 games. So with that being said, he did just go ahead and hit the over in his last 3 games. So I'm going to go ahead and take the under. And so that is going to be our first play of the day. RJ Barrett under 18.5 points versus the Boston Celtics minus 110 odds. Our next play of the day is going to be the Detroit Pistons and the Memphis Grizzlies under 220 points minus 110 odds. The Grizzlies have gone under in whatever their line is in 4 straight games. So they've been playing a lot better defense, and they've kind of struggled to score the ball just a little bit. But they have really been on a mission to win games recently. And the Pistons, on the other hand, they are kind of in the same boat. Anytime that they do play a back-to-back, which they just played yesterday, like I said, our best bet did end up cashing for that. On back-to-backs, the Pistons have only went over in 1 out of the 5 times that they have played in a back-to-back. Gives us pretty good chances there. And then on top of that, the Memphis Grizzlies do have a lot of players that are going to be game-time decisions, but they will help the defensive side of things. So, for example, Desmond Bane, Kyle Anderson, and Dylan Brooks are all game-time decisions. If they do end up playing, of course, that does add some offense to them, but at the same time, it also adds quite a bit of defense too, especially in guys like Dylan Brooks and Desmond Bane. And then on the flip side of it, Detroit, they might be getting one of their best defenders back in Isaiah Stewart. So he is also a game time decision. So I do think that if they all get ruled in, I think that we are in a pretty good spot. So that's our second play. Pistons and Grizzlies under 220, minus 110 odds. Now our final play of the day is going to be Marcus Morris under 17.5 points versus the Phoenix Suns, minus 110 odds. Marcus Morris, historically against the Phoenix Suns, has kind of struggled. He went under in 4 of his last 6 games versus the Phoenix Suns. On top of that, Phoenix is obviously a very good defensive team. They are the 5th best defense in the entire NBA. And when it comes to the power forward position, they are very good as well. They give up the 9th fewest points per game to opposing power forwards, and obviously that's where Marcus Morris plays. I think the power forward position, especially because it looks like most of the Suns players are going to be healthy, except for, well, I shouldn't say that. They still are dealing with some things, but I think that anybody that steps into that power forward position can definitely give Marcus Morris some problems. And then on top of that, it looks like Nicholas Batum is a game-time decision. Since he is a game-time decision, that could mean that he could be taking away some of the minutes from Marcus Morris, and if that's the case, he might not get nearly as many shots if he does end up playing, and that could just lead to an easier cash for us. So that is going to be our final play of the day. Marcus Morris under 17.5 points versus the Phoenix Suns. There are a couple plays that I do consider, so if you guys do want to go ahead and see those and I decide to make them official plays, make sure to follow my Twitter down below, and I will post some other picks if I decide to add them. So that is going to do it for now. Thank you guys so much for 900 subs. We're on the road to 1,000, but for now, it's King Center signing out. Peace.